We have now is not the Harry we had then. This is not the Harry of the Invictus.
Ignoring the hell that they've put their families through, let me run you through my mood board. It's called 7 Years.
That he has believed in, to his family, to the monarchy, to the country, to his grandmother. Much like Shakespeare, except that they're totally unreconciled. And whereas Shakespeare's Prince Hal abandoned...
It didn't take Spotify long to see through her and call them effing grifters. Meghan lost the contract.
Yourself into a dispute. There's a good principle of law, de minimis.
Yeah.
Don't dispute about nothing.
Yeah.
These are nothings. I think the silence is correct for the very simple reason.
Harry enraged after Dorian TV Awards refuses addressing him as His Highness. That headline alone was enough to send the internet into a frenzy. But what really happened that night at the Dorian TV Awards has everyone wondering if Prince Harry just suffered his most humiliating fall from grace yet. It all started with a seemingly simple request, one that exploded into the most awkward spectacle of the evening. According to insiders, Harry's team contacted the awards organizers days before the event, politely requesting he be introduced as His Royal Highness Prince Harry. But the response he received wasn't what he expected. The Dorian Awards flat out refused, and that, as one witness put it, was the spark that lit the fuse. It's worth remembering that under the Megxit agreement from 2020, both Harry and Meghan agreed to stop using their HRH titles in any official or commercial capacity. That wasn't a suggestion, it was a binding condition of their departure from royal duties. And yet, here we were, with Harry attempting to bend the rules at a Hollywood awards show, a place that thrives on breaking tradition, not honoring it. The organizers, known for their unapologetic stance on equality and inclusion, didn't blink. No HRH, no exceptions. The show would go on, but not on Harry's terms. When the night of the awards arrived, everything looked smooth from the outside. Harry, dressed in a slick midnight black tuxedo, smiled for the cameras and played the part. But underneath that polished exterior, something was clearly brewing. The moment came when the MC took the stage and introduced him, not as His Royal Highness, but simply Prince Harry, Duke of Sussex. The omission was subtle, but the reaction was anything but. Witnesses say Harry's entire demeanor changed in an instant. His jaw clenched, his smile disappeared, and he leaned toward a staff member, whispering something that appeared to be laced with fury. The cameras didn't catch his words, but his expression said enough. Minutes later, he stood up, mid-segment, and stormed out of the venue. No smiles, no polite nods, just a stormy exit that instantly became the talk of the room. People barely noticed the next presenter. The buzz wasn't about who won, it was about who walked out. And by the time the show ended, Harry's exit was already trending online. Social media erupted with hashtags like Now Tantrum King and Prince of Entitlement. Memes flooded Twitter. One viral image showed a toddler in a plastic crown storming out of a party with the caption, "Harry leaving gala because nobody curtsied." Brutal? Absolutely. But this was Hollywood, not Buckingham Palace, and Harry's demand for deference didn't sit well with anyone. This wasn't just about a title. It was about a man caught between two identities. 4 years after leaving the royal family for freedom and privacy, Harry seemed more obsessed than ever with being treated like royalty. In Britain, he's viewed as a deserter. In America, he's beginning to look like a punchline, an unemployed duke demanding reverence in rooms full of self-made stars. And let's talk about Meghan. Her absence was glaring. For a couple that often presents themselves as an inseparable unit, Meghan's decision to stay behind in Montecito while Harry faced the cameras solo raised a few eyebrows. Was she avoiding the spotlight? Or was she distancing herself from what she knew might turn into another PR disaster? According to insiders, Meghan, ever the strategist, chose to sit this one out. She'd seen the writing on the wall. With their Spotify deal terminated and Netflix ties reportedly weakening, another public meltdown wasn't what their brand needed. And make no mistake, brand is everything. In Tinseltown, perception can make or break careers. That night, several major studio executives were seated in the audience. When Harry stormed out, their polite smiles faded. One producer was overheard saying, "We don't bow to kings here, especially unemployed ones." Ouch! Even for Harry, that had to sting. This meltdown wasn't just a one-off incident, it was a reflection of a larger identity crisis. Harry left royal life behind, but seems unable, or unwilling, to let go of the perks that came with it. He wants the Hollywood platform without surrendering the palace prestige, and for the first time, that contradiction may be catching up to him in a serious way. The British tabloids had a field day, of course. Titled "Tantrum," screamed the Daily Mail. "No crown, no courtesy, no chill," read the headline in page 6. Even CNN and The Guardian chimed in, questioning Harry's relevance in Hollywood. One entertainment journalist said it best: he wants the perks of the palace without the responsibility. And Hollywood just reminded him that it doesn't work that way. Behind the scenes, the consequences could be more damaging than the public knows. Studio heads are reportedly reconsidering future collaborations. Endorsement deals are being quietly shelved. PR strategists who once lined up to work with the Sussexes are said to be backing away. As one Hollywood strategist bluntly put it, you can't market a man who melts down every time his ego isn't stroked. And the numbers don't lie. Polls conducted after the Dorian Awards show over 70% of respondents sided with the event organizers. That's not just bad PR, that's a full-blown crisis for a brand built on likability. In a city that values charm, humility, and adaptability, Harry's outburst came off as tone-deaf, entitled, and out of touch. It's ironic. For years, Harry and Meghan positioned themselves as symbols of a modern monarchy, champions of progress, mental health, and self-discovery. They claim to have shed the restrictive labels of royal life. But when push came to shove, Harry seemed more concerned about a missing title than the cause he was supposedly there to support. The question now is, what's next? Does Harry double down, demanding royal treatment wherever he goes? Or does he finally accept that in America, crowns don't equal clout? One thing's clear, the Hollywood welcome mat is wearing thin. The glitz, the mystique, it only lasts so long. And when it fades, what's left? By sunrise the next day, Harry's outburst had become a digital firestorm. Front pages, viral clips, endless commentary. The moment he walked out, he didn't just leave the building, he left with a new label, a diva. And in Hollywood, where image is everything, that kind of branding is nearly impossible to shake. Meghan, meanwhile, managed to stay above the fray. Whether by instinct or strategy, she avoided being part of the fiasco. And perhaps that's the beginning of a new chapter, one where the once unbreakable duo starts making separate moves. While Harry battles for recognition, Meghan may be quietly repositioning herself, choosing her battles more wisely. But let's not pretend this is just about celebrity gossip. At its core, this moment symbolizes something much bigger, the clash between old-world entitlement and modern meritocracy. Harry's desire to be addressed as His Royal Highness wasn't just a faux pas, it was a relic of a past he can't seem to let go. And the world, it seems, is done playing along. Because in Hollywood, you don't get respect by demanding it. You earn it. Through work, through humility, through grit. Even Oscar winners hustle for roles here. And Harry, for all his royal pedigree, hasn't yet shown that he can play that game. This wasn't just a bump in the road, it was a turning point. A warning shot to anyone still clinging to outdated titles in a world that's moved on. The Dorian Awards didn't just deny Harry a title, they exposed the growing gap between who he once was and who he needs to become. So here we are, the prince without a palace, the rebel without applause. And the question lingers. What does Harry want more? The respect of the world or the shadow of a crown? Because he may not be able to have both. The cameras have stopped flashing, the stage lights have dimmed, and all that's left is the reality. And that reality? Crowns don't count here.